Hello, my name is Augustine Suarez. My final was written about social media and the effects that it has on teenagers. With so many teenagers and children on screens for multiple periods of times a day, they are bound to be using a social media site. These apps can be a good way to interact with others, but in other cases, it can do harm to teenagers who are developing and growing into adults. For this presentation, I would like to focus on three different issues that come with the excessive use of social media or common use of social media, using some sources from my final in a brief, concise speech. The issues that I want to go over are mental health, addiction, and cyberbullying. The first one, mental health. There are different effects that social media can have on mental health of teenagers who use it. If existing conditions are present, they can become worse with the use of social media. The article I will use to discuss the effects of mental health is the article Social Media and Teen Mental Health by the author Annie E. Casey. It was published on August 10th, 2023 by by the publisher, the Annie E. Casey Foundation. According to Casey, numerous studies show that higher levels of social media use among children and adolescents are linked to adverse effects, such as depression and anxiety, inadequate sleep, which can disrupt neurological development and lead to depression and suicidal behaviors, low self-esteem, poor body image, and eating disorder behaviors. The use of social media has impact on many different aspects of mental health, especially with standards that are imposed on bodies in social media being transferred to teenagers and children who may not know what actual standards should look like or may not even uh, be exposed to standards such as the ones in social media. The next issue I'd like to talk about is the issue of addiction. Teenagers and young children are very susceptible to different types of addictions, such as video games, for an example. And social media is no different to how susceptible children are to it. The article I will use for this issue is the article is Internet Addiction Real by author Caroline Miller, published on December 8th, 2023. It comes from the publisher Child Mind Institute. According to Miller, kids sometimes use the word addiction to describe their own behavior. 2. In a 2016 survey by Common Sense Media, half of teenagers said they feel they are addicted to their mobile device. Three-quarters of them said they feel compelled to immediately respond to texts, social media posts, and other notifications. With many kids feeling like they are addicted to social media, it has different effects of addiction, such as withdrawal, or in specific, FOMO, where they may feel that they are left out if they are not on social media sites and not seeing what's new on their new network. The final issue I would like to talk about is the cyberbullying issue. Cyberbullying is a type of bullying that can happen on the internet and especially on social media sites. With being able to go anonymously on social media sites, bullies can harass their victims with no way to track the bully and no way to report the harassment, although in a few cases you can. The article I will be using is for the issue of cyberbullying is Middle School Students' Social Media Use by the author Florence Martin and a few other authors. The article was published on January 2018 and is published by the JSTOR database. According to the article, it states that a recent national survey of 1,588 middle school youth ages 10 to 15 found that 32% had experienced online harassment, among which 43 were via instant messages in chat rooms and 28% via social media networks. The harassment that is experienced on social media is a big percentage that it targets young teens. The harassment of teenagers is unacceptable, and social media sites should have better regulations for the cyberbullying that teens can potentially face online. In conclusion, the use of social media should be regulated in different ways, whether that is limiting the screen time that teenagers and children have on certain sites, or regulations that are imposed by a bigger power such as the government. Teenagers can face many awful things on social media that can potentially affect their development, and it's best to stay away from social media as a teenager or to use social media with precaution and regulation. Thank you for listening.